Hey everyone, welcome to, I believe it's journal entry 54 or 53. Yeah, I think it's 54. I could be wrong. If it's 53, you'll see it above, but I'm pretty sure it's 54. But anyway, yes, it is a little dark out here right now. It's about 5:21. And, talking about an unusual week, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, let me put it in perspective for you. Let me put this in perspective for you. Normally, when you have Veterans Day, which is today, and Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there, but normally when you have a day like this on today, you usually get Friday off, right? Well, don't you think it's kind of unusual, ladies and gentlemen, that for some reason you don't just get that? But well, let me ask you this: what would you do if you knew you had? Well, let's say you're a teacher and you worked at a school, and let's say you worked at that school, but you knew that school was off for Veterans Day. But let's say you also had a class you go to after school. Let's say right in the afternoon or right in the evening. What would you do if you found out that class was still on? You'd be a little confused. You'd be like, well, wait a minute, it don't make sense. That's exactly what's going on with my family. In my family. For some reason, one of my family members' college classes got scheduled for tonight. That's true. It got scheduled for tonight. I don't know why, and they don't know why, but it did. So anyway, basically what's happening is, excuse me a second. But basically what's happening is, they're going to have class tonight. Now, if my family member comes home later and tells us that it was canceled at the last minute, then it's not going to be much of a surprise, because a lot of the classes at this college were canceled in advance. Well, not a lot of them, but some of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps it's a last minute deal. But then again, maybe not. We don't really know. Anyway, besides that, last night we had Awanas, our second to last Awanas for the fall session. And last night was officially the last time for the fall session that they had to read us the verses. Next week they have the option. You see, we have this one girl, or this one kid I should say, this one kid that's on the verge of becoming a Sparky. Now they're old enough grade-wise to be a Sparky. So they just need to do those 2 more verses and they're a Sparky, no matter what. Another good thing about yesterday, even though it was kind of unexpected, is we had my nephew come to Awanas. Sorry about the interruption. Sorry about the silence there. I was walking by some people. But anyway, what was surprising yesterday, even though it was unexpected, is we had my 6-year-old nephew with us. Now, he hadn't gone to Awanas in a while because he had some other activities with the ball and everything, so he came last night and he got, I guess, reinterested in it. He finally got reintroduced to it, reinterested in it. So we'll see what happens. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe he's going to come back, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, besides that, overall, during the time I haven't done another entry, a lot has happened. You know, I recently rented, I think I mentioned this in a video, maybe not. I recently rented Toy Story 3 via Netflix. And I was able to record it, or actually copy it, via DVD fab onto another disc for myself and for my second oldest sister. My second oldest sister is because she has a 3-year-old son, so go figure. But I did that. The only ones I could not, copy via DVD fab was Iron Man 2 and Why Did I Get Married To. That's something I found kind of unusual. But anyway, besides that, I also rented SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, which I did a review on, and you can see it here on my channel. And it's a pretty good game. I'm going to see if I can re-rent it again tonight. If I can't, I can't. No big deal. And, really not much has gone on. We did find out where we're going to have Thanksgiving this year. We did find out where we're going to have Thanksgiving this year, so it's a different location. It's with family, but it's a different location. And overall, that's about all that's happened so far. This weekend we got our church is having their annual harvest dinners, so we're going to go to that. My teenage nephew and my 3-year-old nephew are going to come with us, and maybe my 18-year-old niece will come. I don't know. But we're going to be going to that. And then, like I say, next Wednesday is our last Awanas for the fall session. We're basically going to have an all-out party there. And who knows what's going to happen next. So, but really, besides all that, not much has really gone on. So, that's all I'm really going to say. Not much I can really say besides that. And except for this past Friday or last Friday, we went to my second oldest sister's to watch my 3-year-old nephew while her and her husband went out to celebrate their anniversary of knowing each other, of like when they first officially became a couple. So, but anyway, besides that, not really much, and that's all I'm going to say. And I will say this though, one of the things that did happen, I just thought about this, is that I've been helping my mom a lot. I mean, I've been staying up late, literally helping her type up her papers for school tonight, the ones she has to tune in tonight. So that's the only other thing that's happened, and that's why I may seem a little tired at times in my videos, is because I've been doing that. So, but besides all that, not much has really gone on, and that's all I'm going to say for now. So I thank you for tuning in to this, I think the 53rd or 54th entry of the new entry series, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good night. And I apologize if you can't really see me because it's dark out now. So, peace.